Welcome to the Dropcast. It's August 20th, a Thursday. My name is Carl Schumann, your name is Matthew Kershaw. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I've been a bit ill this past week, but I feel better now, which is good.
Are you the illest? Are you da illest?
Well, like last Monday, I was out helping my grandma, and I got really car sick all of a sudden in her car, and we were
That
going
happens
up
to
to
me.
Ramsey, and we had to pull over like 4 or 5 times on the way there and back because I just felt like I was going to throw up.
That's going to be a really long car journey then, isn't it?
Yes, it was. It was fucking torturous.
Especially considering that the island is so small that's really only a 10-minute trip, now made into like a 20-minute one.
Yeah, it was. She had to be there by 12, and it was like 10 to 12, and I was still like, yeah, we have to pull over, I'm going to throw up. But we made it there in time. I was supposed to then help her out around the house, but I felt too sick, so I went home, kind of lazed around all day, woke up the next morning still feeling sick, and I was like, this isn't right. The car sickness, I'm out of a car, it's been a day, I should, be better.
Mm.
And then outside my room, I hear my brother vomiting
Oh god.
into the bathroom, and I was like, oh, that's why I felt like throwing up yesterday.
Jesus. That's why you shouldn't have family, just kill them all and then, nobody can make you ill.
Shh! This is evidence for when I actually do it now. We have to remove that.
It's a good job we don't post this on the internet then.
Yeah, so how have you been?
I staved off a migraine, actually. You mentioned it at the start of last week. But I got rid of mine really quickly through the power of kind thought.
And meditation.
And meditation. I'm not even joking. But yeah, I had a really good week. I met up with someone I hadn't seen in like 2 years. The last time I seen them, I met them at a funeral, which is generally how those relationships tend to go. But that was real fun. And then I've just been playing kind of shitty video games and spacing out for the last few days.
That's fun.
That's why we have a podcast. Have you played anything? Off note?
No, actually.
Have you played anything even of things that are not of note?
No. I've
Really?
spent the past week, kind of being ill, just kind of watching Netflix.
That's depressing.
I watched a 24-hour charity stream on Saturday, I want to say.
Of what? Was it a good charity?
It was for a cancer charity.
That's a pretty good charity then.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So you played nothing?
I've played nothing, no. Not even Yu-Gi-Oh! That's how serious it's been.
Really, I've been nipping on for half an hour of Yu-Gi-Oh! Every couple of days just to get that deck built out a little bit.
Oh yeah, you need something to combat my amazing Dark Magician deck.
Oh, I feel like every time I make an edit, I just make the thing worse. But whatever, we'll see, I guess.
I just want to warn you, I may or may not now have fusion monsters into my Dark Magician deck.
That's alright, I have a fuck ton of synchros, and you all know they're way easier to summon. I've never successfully pulled off like a pendulum move.
I have in the single player campaign, but that's about it.
I have against you, I think. You've been the only person when we were doing some friendlies, and I didn't banish you to the Shadow Realm. But anyway, King of Dragon Pass. Turns out that game's like 15 years old and I didn't know, so that was a rude awakening.
Never heard of it.
There's a review up on the website right now. That is GameDropZone.com.
Wow, I really should have heard of it then.
You should have done. You should have refreshed the site today to see that go up.
Yeah. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh!, everyone should go check out my review of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Should. That's 2 reviews in like 2 weeks. Bargain. That's the one game you should buy and one game you really shouldn't. Yeah, I bought that game, King of Dragon Pass, thinking it was going to be real cool because it sounded real cool. Turns out it's like a remake of, well, not even a remake, just a port basically of like a 20-year-old game. So it's fucking rough as fuck, as you'd expect. And it was ported to the iOS first, so that didn't help matters. Oh, it's a bit of a mess. But yeah, go check out that review. It was not favourable, if you couldn't tell. I played Dragon Age Inquisition: The Descent. There is an evaluation, we're calling it. We're not going to call it a review because there's no score. Of the Descent DLC for Dragon Age, that's up on the website, as well as a couple of Let's Plays, so if you want to check out the first couple of hours of that, which you should, because it's maybe not all that great, then go read that piece and check out those videos.
Is there anything else we need to shill?
Centris video is probably up before this podcast. That's a fucking weird game. Centris is really interesting, though, because it ties into something else I've been doing. I was listening to the creator Samantha Kalman talk about some of her motivations for Centris. It's a game about making music, but it's not necessarily like a rhythm game in the same sense of like a harmonics, rock band kind of thing. You're not trying to like score, you're just trying to make pretty sounds happen.
Yeah.
In a more organic way, which made me think, because she described it as she wanted to make it easier for people just to make music. And so by like using, those instruments she has and that formula, it's kind of like you can just instantly plop down things and make sounds happen. Whereas if I wanted to start a band, it would be real hard, because I don't fucking know anything about music. But I've been doing a lot of modding recently. I've been getting back into that on like another 8-year-old game, Empire at War. We've talked about it before on the podcast.
Oh,
but
wow.
I've actually been doing my own modding. I've added 2 units to something, to somebody else's mod actually. I've been running outside, and that took me hours. Like I spent like 2 hours. Right. Let's talk about modding, okay? So you've got your model. Let's say I've got a Star Destroyer. It's pretty standard shape. It's got like 60 bones, they're called, 60 like points on it. Not articulation, because the Star Destroyer doesn't move like that.
Yeah.
But like 60 things inside of it that need to be assigned things, like where a gun's going to fire from, for example. Because Empire at War works on hard points, so you can target individual weapons on a ship, or like the engines and stuff, and that has like real consequences in the battle. So I had to write the XML, because it's largely all XML and .dat files and stuff, which I'm familiar with from like programming on the degree we do.
Yeah.
And I had to like write the code for these like 60 odd hard points. It took me like 2 days, 2 hours, sorry, over one day. Couldn't get it working. I got the ship in the game, and it was just like on fire constantly, and none of the hard points worked, and none of the weapons worked. I was like swearing and swearing. So I went back to it the day after. Turns out I'd saved the document I was using as like a whatever the notepad default is, a .text file.
Oh yeah.
Not a .xml, so I just wasn't reading it. Changed the file format, and boom, fucking worked. It was the best feeling ever, and the dumbest issue ever. But yeah, modding games, and like that made me think. It's like I want to, I occasionally have the odd moment of like, I want to make a game because I think there's something I could do that's real cool, but I can't. So that's kind of the joy of mods, isn't it? Is that people can make parts of a game and things without having to like build the engine and code everything and do the gameplay.
Do you feel like your amazing mods for that game should be up on the Steam Workshop and you should be able to charge for it?
There's no workshop support for Empire at War, but there is like a huge community. It's like one of the very active communities on ModDB still. Which is surprising, because that game's old. But the thing is with mods, right, I fully endorse, like, I've been playing the, what's it called? It's Imperial Civil War Thrawn's Revenge, it's called. It's a huge mod. We've spoke about it the last 2 weeks. I've been playing that for like 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. And that's like got production, they've changed core parts of the gameplay, they've added this era system. So you assassinate different leaders in the campaign, and it'll like change the era and unlock new units. It's like totally unique to their mod. It's not in the base game. And they've got like this huge manual with all like proper artwork on it. Like all the pages are really detailed. It's like it's basically a game in itself. It's better than the sequel was, the expansion pack. So I feel like, yeah, they should absolutely get money for that. But then you see the other 20 mods alongside that, and none of them are finished. All of them are buggy as fuck, and one of them just ripped music from Code Geass and slung it in there. And it's like, yeah, well, these people would also charge money, and they can't finish what they're doing. So I have mixed feelings on it, but I do think the work should be an option for it, I guess.
It doesn't help that when Steam tried to introduce this, they did it with Skyrim, a very broken game where the mods do nothing but break the game even more.
Yeah.
For the most part.
They should, I don't think they should have done it on a game that already was out either, to be honest.
Well, they were doing it in preparation for Fallout 4.
I know, but why didn't they just roll out with Fallout 4? I mean, people would have been appalled, but I don't think it would have been as bad as now you're going to have to pay for this thing you got for free before.
I think it would have been worse to be like, yeah, this new game's coming out. Everybody's been excited. Like, nobody is super excited for a Bethesda game standalone. Especially if you are a PC gamer, you're like, oh boy, I can't wait for the new Bethesda game so I can mod the fuck out of it.
I mean, I can't wait for it, because then I get to play the 70-hour game and then talk about how shit it is on a website, but yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, it's like, people look forward to this game if you play on PC, because then you are like, sweet, I can get my squid girl lolies in Fallout now as my companions.
There's certainly an element of that in the community, yes.
It's like if they turned around and went, yeah, you've got to now pay for the mods, people would have blown a fuse more than the whole Skyrim thing, I think.
Maybe. At some point, they should just, if they're going to do that, they should just do it and stick to it. And the community will deal with it in about 4 days' time. You know, when everyone stopped making really ranty videos about it.
Yeah.
That's when people will forget and just, it'll be the norm. Because that's how things go. But, like, you know how KOTOR 2 got Steam Workshop support a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
It's a big thing in the news. They have a team that, years ago, when the game came out and was fucking broken or whatever, they sort of, like, patched in all the content that was cut. It was the Sith Lords Restore mod, I think it's called, and that's up on there. And that is something that should, like, they've done more work, not more work than developer, but they've done the developer's work to, like, the same kind of standard. So something like that should certainly maybe have a price tag. I would rather pay for that than, say, another, like, fucking horse armor DLC. But at some point, you know, then you get into the horrible area of, like, what if then the company was to charge for their patches, because it's essentially the same thing? And that's not good either, is it really?
No.
And and maybe the company shouldn't be making money off other people fixing their game. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, but modding, it's real cool. Still a thing.
It is, yeah.
I've only ever modded games off that era, off like the early 2000s era, like pre-2007, because I can manage that. I can't imagine what it'd be like modding a game now. You know, from the raw code. I don't mean like using the mod kits and stuff, because they obviously take out some of that work, but editing, like, trying to think, I was editing hex files on like Dragon Age Origins not that long ago. I think that was the latest game I've worked on.
I remember you telling me about that, giving them anime hair.
Yeah, but I wanted the anime hair on an existing character. It was fucking really hard.
Last time I fucked around with a game, it was for Minecraft, because we were learning Java at university, and I was like, oh, I can do this, and I added my own block, and I made it so you could run faster on that block, and that was it.
Yeah, it is fun, but like, it's really easy just to get like really angry and annoyed and stressed and feel like you've wasted 4 hours of your evening.
Well, we know this from doing programming for the past 4 years. That's programming in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many times we would sit there with a basic task and somehow it wouldn't work, and it would just be like another hour of like troubleshooting?
But it's so rewarding. But that was different because we were basically in that room for an hour a week anyway. So,
yeah.
Are you just not going to do the work, which a lot of people did? But it's really rewarding. I kind of wish I could bring myself to actually pursue it more. If you are a programmer and you know a graphic artist, let's get together and make some hot mods. Because there are two things I can't do. I've also downloaded 3D Studio Max. That's fucking a piece of confusing software. And also costs like £500 a year on license.
Ouch.
So that's got deleted already before my trial even was up. Really hard. There should be easier ways of making a fucking triangle look like a Star Destroyer.
Use Maya.
I haven't tried. I needed something that would, because this game is so old that I was modding, I needed something that my plugins would work so I could export to .alo and .ala files, which like nothing does anymore. But yeah, I got around it. Used some different models out there, modded in some new vehicles, and it was really exciting, and that made me think it's kind of like the same thing as Centris does for music. It's like, you know, here's some tools, some existing stuff, and you can create a little bit and get that sense of achievement without having to like learn a whole new language and stuff.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is Centris is the mod tools of the music industry. Get those little wave loops, stick them together, and that'll be the next podcast theme. Telling
Amazing.
you. Also, I have been playing. I say I've been playing. I've almost finished Knights of the Old Republic. On the subject of Star Wars and mods and
actually, before you move
games.
on, the game I was talking about last week was I've lost it now. It was Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, where you play as Kyle Katarn and you fight a lizard dude at the end.
Yeah.
I said I would find it. May have taken me a week, but I found it.
I need to go back and play that game. I haven't played that game ever. I haven't played any of the Dark Forces games either, but they're like Doom style, really old, even older. Yeah. So I don't know. I was in the middle of playing Jedi Academy, which is a sequel to Jedi Outcast. But it's like, it's at some point you're playing a really old shitty game for like, just to see the cutscenes. It's really depressing.
Watch him on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess. But then you make one decision in that game, and it's a really pivotal decision, and I want to be there to make that decision. And if you don't go through hours of playing it, it doesn't feel like you've really made it.
I guess.
It's torture. It's torture. Also, it's fucking Star Wars, so it's like I've played that game 18 times already. But yeah, I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic. I might do a dusting off of that, because I wanted to do one of Knights of the Old Republic 2. Now it's got mod support, but I thought I should probably do the first one, for like completionist sake.
Yeah.
So I'm playing through that now as a good guy, which I think I've only done like once before. It's an okay game. It's very by the numbers, I guess. It's a very like traditional Jedi story, which I'm looking forward to getting on Knights of the Old Republic 2, because that's way more sinister and like grimy.
Yeah.
It's I can't wait. Nar Shadar's an awesome place. So they should be up on the site soon. But I have been reading a lot of comics. That's my latest weakness.
Yep.
I wanted to speak about this last week, but I forgot. Marvel Unlimited is an app. You can get it on the Androids or on the iOSs. And it's like you pay $9.99, I think, to read like pretty much everything from Marvel ever on your phone or iPad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have all the Star Wars stuff on there, because obviously Disney owns both now.
Yeah.
And I've been reading. I first read like the first 20 issues of Rogue Squadron, which is like the 1990s comic. Fucking trash. It's like there's 20 pages of let's have these 4 people in one room having a conversation about the Imp's base and stuff. It's fucking dire. It's really, and there's also like only 4 colors in the entire book as well, and they're all really pale and horrible. So then I moved on to, oh god, what's it called? It was like the Mara Jade ones, and they were pretty good. They're a bit more modern. And then I went to the Yuuzhan Vong ones, which is like an area of, when everyone talks about like the extended universe of Star Wars being really shit and like full of crap. It's kind of that era when there was like 14 different Skywalkers and 20 solo children, all fighting bugs from outer space. Those comics aren't great, but I haven't read the books, so I imagine most of the good stuff's in the books. I've also been listening to the Legacy of the Force audiobooks, which are a mixed bag. Some of them by Karen Travis, some of them by Troy Denning, some of them by a third guy, and they're kind of all over the place. But I've settled on the latest stuff called Legacy, which is like 100 years, 130 years after the films. And it's fucking great. I'm surprised that it's not been made into like, I feel like it would work as like a cartoon, like a serial sort of like anime shit or something.
Yeah.
Or like an animated series, because it's fucking really good. It's like, it's familiar in that there are Star Destroyers and there are Stormtroopers, but it's like, I don't know, it's got something for everyone. It's got like the bounty hunter angle, it's got the not so generic Jedi story of him like fighting the dark side, but actually being kind of an asshole on drugs. It's got like Sith who look fucking cool, Darth Krayt in this cool armor. You should definitely look up some of the artwork, because it's like surprisingly good. And the comics are really nice because they're not like 20 years old, and they actually have like pacing and stuff to them. There's like 40 something issues of that are all up on the Marvel Unlimited. It's really interesting. Anyone interested should take a look at that, which kind of made me bummed that they've now just destroyed all that canon a little bit. Yeah, with the new films. They basically just wiped out everything else, which is disappointing because you had a lot of good stuff in there. There was a lot of shit. Like, I don't know enough about the Yuuzhan Vong, but they didn't seem great. But there's so much stuff that's going to be lost. And it made me think, like, how is Wikipedia, for example, the Star Wars wiki site, going to handle that? Are they going to have 2 sections to each article? Is there going to be, like, 2 different descriptions of Stormtroopers? Like old canon and new canon? It's going to be weird to see. And kind of sad, but also kind of exciting, because it's going to be a whole new set of stories. But yeah, definitely check out those Legacy comics if you care about that sort of like KOTOR style, the more balanced, less Jedi friendly side of Star Wars, because it's really interesting. It's really interesting. Are you on for a bit of news that will not be Star Wars related?
I have a record-breaking 2 pieces of news this time.
Holy shit! You've blown the boat out.
Yeah, I know. Would you like news about the X-Bone being shit, or about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare?
Let's stay positive for the moment. Let's go for the COD news.
Okay, so 3 new weapons are coming to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the 25th of August for the Xbox One. Those weapons include the AK-47, the M16, and the cell-free cauterizer from Exozombies.
I was shocked when you said the AK-47 wasn't already in the game, but I guess it is futuristic.
Yeah, and for some reason they're adding 2 old weapons.
Is the AK-74 in there?
No.
In the game already, I mean.
I don't think so.
The AK-148?
I don't think so.
Some variation of the AK will be in there. They can't have a game without it.
Probably. You unlock these weapons once you buy advanced supply drops.
What are they? Are they real money? In-game money?
They're the things you unlock occasionally in-game, or you can pay real money to unlock them.
Have they added... I kind of regret.
Don't you remember we would
DLC.
play and we would get advanced supply drops, and it would usually be like some shirts.
Oh yeah, some shirts that like expire in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
So that's interesting, I guess.
It is. Speaking of COD news, the Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and they want 3 spent out in 3 hours, not the number 3. Remember that.
Yep. Call of Duty Black Ops III.
Yep. That's what we're going to call it from now on, apparently. That's hitting PSN on Thursday, and it's hitting this Thursday the 19th, sorry. And it's hitting everywhere else. I think I got the date wrong when I introduced the podcast. Either that or I've got my news wrong.
Thursday is the 20th.
Okay, I got my news wrong. On Thursday the 20th, the COD beta is hitting PSN for the PlayStation 4, hitting everywhere else in 1 week's time on the 26th. 27th.
That is the next Wednesday.
Yep. Okay, I've got... It's the 2 Thursdays, basically. It's hitting PSN first, then Xbox and PC after that.
That would be the 27th then, next week.
I think it's the 27th. I think maybe they got their press release wrong with either the date or the day, but it's hitting on the 19th and the 27th, so I can't wait for that. Which means we're going to have a lot of like me playing really shitty COD on the website, which is always good. We managed to escape it last year, we just had the review, but I guess we're going to have to do video this time.
Yep, I guess so.
Right, I've got a really shitty piece of Microsoft news. Do you want to hit with your Xbox One first?
Okay, so you know how my Kinect just decided to die just like around the time the warranty expired?
Yeah, that's how technology goes now.
Yes, and I said, yeah, this is fucking Microsoft's fault and it's broken and I've done nothing to it. Well, 1 week ago, there was a post in the Xbox Live preview program forums that says, and I quote, "Greetings, folks. This behavior is indicative of hardware failure, and in all instances of the development team has investigated this issue. The cause is hardware failure. The hardware failure manifests as frequent Kinect disconnections or power cycling. Yada yada yada." They basically have now admitted that, yeah, there's something wrong with the Kinect, and it basically breaks, and we have no idea why. But because it's not being like posted about or said by like, I don't know, how many Xbox Ones have sold?
Like 2. 1 to me, 1 to you.
I guess. Well, how many Kinects have been sold? There's no numbers out there, is there?
No. I don't think they've been selling Kinects for like the last few months though.
Yeah, exactly. It's like essentially what they're saying is because it seems to be a quote-unquote limited number of reports, they're not going to do anything about it. So if you have a Kinect that breaks because of their hardware failure, it's tough luck.
Oh, that's just fucked.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking awful.
I'm going to guess, and this is just a guess, at like around 12 or 11 million, because I think that's where it was at when they announced the huge price cuts and the Kinect removal.
Yeah.
But you can now use your Xbox without Kinect, and theoretically this update in November will allow you to navigate it without Kinect in a way that human beings can use.
Hopefully, they said, as mentioned, we have seen sporadic reports of these issues over the course of several preview waves, which is a lie because people have been reporting this for months now.
Yeah.
And they finally looked into it, and they've basically said, yeah, if this happened to you, you're fucked.
That's good to know. It's good to know they're looking out for you.
Yeah, it's great. I've now got a fucking useless Kinect here.
Well, you'll be happy to know that PS4 outsold the Xbox One in the US for another month in July, if that makes you feel any better.
At least their hardware doesn't fucking break when it comes to a year old.
It hasn't yet, touch wood. I guess mine's like 2 years old, isn't it now? Almost. Would it be this
I would
Christmas
say
2
that,
years?
I would say, well, your Xbox One hasn't broken at all, so it clearly isn't
I'm only
every
on my
Xbox One.
I'm
But
only on my
you've
second
broken like
controller.
you've broken like 2 pieces of hardware for it already.
I've broken 2 controllers and 1 headset.
Yep.
No, don't make it sound like I've broken. That shit broke in my hands and on my head. Like, I don't break controllers. I've got my original Xbox 360 wired controller that I bought when I bought my 360 because I wanted to play co-op Rainbow Six Vegas 2. And I think it was co-op Halo as well. And that still works. It's still plugged into my 360 and I use it on the PC. The 360 was robust compared to this shit that fucking put out this generation. Assholes.
It was, yeah.
So, Microsoft, assholes, do we agree?
Yeah, essentially the fact that they've released this piece of hardware with a critical failure in it, and they're going, oh, it's tough luck.
Well, let's talk about their software. Have you heard about the new Windows 10 EULA?
No. Oh, is this about the pirating games?
Yes.
Well, before we move on to that, let's just say the past week, Windows 10 has been trying to install itself onto my laptop, and I can't do anything to stop it trying to install itself.
What are you running?
I have literally had to not shut down my laptop for the past week, because if I do, it will try to install Windows 10.
What are you running? Are you running 7 or 8 or 8.1?
I've got 7.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's some sort of update thing, because I have none of that shit turned on, and I haven't had any messages yet.
You will have, over the past month, they've released updates which adds the telemetry stuff to Windows 7 and Windows 8, so it basically turns Windows 7 and 8 into a botnet now, which is great. And so basically now they're tracking all the stuff you do on your computer if you have these updates installed.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
I'm not okay with them. I'm not okay with them restricting what I do on there, is where I take issue with it.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you go into your control panel and you go into your updates and go into optional updates, it will say optional update Windows 10 upgrade ticked. If you untick it and press apply, and it'll say, okay, it's unticked. If you close the control panel, reopen it, it suddenly ticks itself again.
That's like unbelievable. That they would even give you the ability to untick it and then just fuck you over.
It's already downloaded the 3 gig installer to my computer, and I can't find where it is to remove it.
That's weird. I haven't hit any of that on my desktop that I use every single day, and I turn it off as well every single day. So that's odd. But I can't. I was gonna install Windows 10 on my laptop because I'm meant to be a computer scientist that cares about these things. I should probably have my own opinion of it, but my copy of Parallels ran out, so I logged into my Parallels account, about to renew. I already had a key for the latest version of Parallels, but it was like simple Chinese only, apparently. So I don't know. They must have sent that out. It was an email address I don't use, so maybe that was just like a preview thing. Yeah. But I haven't got around to installing Windows 10 on my Mac yet. On the Parallels, I'm not going to install it on the fucking main side.
Yeah, I don't want this shit on my fucking main OS.
No, I would happily use Windows Vista if I could get my hands on a copy of it, because that was fine for what I used it for. It's rough. So this Microsoft EULA, they are, as you said, clamping down on piracy. Let me just scan this article to see if I'm getting the gist
Essentially,
of it.
It will now search your computer, and if it finds pirated games or music or videos or whatever, it can disable them.
Yes, including unauthorized hardware peripheral devices. Which made me think, what happens when they block the DualShock 4 and all the drivers for it, which is almost certainly never going to work on Windows 10?
Yep.
The DS4 driver, I think it's called. And that's just kind of super fucked, really, if you ask me.
It is, yeah. Windows 10 is fucking awful.
I don't know if it's actually any better. Beej, a friend of mine at college who's also into computers in a somewhat unhealthy way, was trying to tell me how great it was. I'm like, dude, the things I want to do, it will not allow. I will not be able to mod my games if I were to. If this is only their measures they're taking now, what will they do in the future? How long until Steam is just like no longer accessible? I guess that won't be an issue now they've got their deal with them.
I guess, but Windows 10 is just fucking disgraceful in terms of what it does.
I mean, yeah. I'll watch porn on any device. I don't give a fuck if they report it to somebody. But
I guess, but it's basic stuff. you use Windows 10, it gains access to all of your email accounts, your Facebook account. It shares your Wi-Fi passwords.
That's
It
kind of
basically
fucked.
it has a keylogger built in, and it sends all your data off to Microsoft, including if you have a webcam installed, it will take pictures of you sporadically during the day.
I mean, look, I've got 4 different cameras at my bed pointed at me right now.
Well, Phil Spencer's whacking off to you while you're asleep.
Both none of my Microsoft devices are turned on, but theoretically, like Shu Yoshida, Phil Spencer, probably Steve Ballmer, and Tim Cook could all be jacking off to me having this very conversation with you right now. And that's kind of an arousing thought.
Yep.
To be honest, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't know. People are weird about that shit. I guess if you don't, it would be shocking if you didn't expect it in today's world. But I just expect that I own nothing of mine.
I guess, but if you look at all the shit that Windows 10 does, it really is like, holy crap, this is such a massive invasion of privacy.
Yeah. The thing is do you trust Microsoft? Well, I know you don't.
No,
but
no, I don't. They can't even build fucking hardware that lasts a year.
It's funny. Do you remember when they showed off the HoloLens? And I was like, Microsoft cannot launch a piece of hardware that works. Like, whether it's the Surface, the fucking dumb tablet table they launched, their shitty keyboard and mice, or their fucking speakers, the weird grey cubes.
Yeah.
I still remember those grey cubes. Or like the Xbox One, or the original 360, that was just like a massive mess. Like, they cannot launch hardware, and I'm not convinced they can do software anymore either.
Oh, no, they can't.
It's, I want to pick up a Windows phone just to see what that experience is like. How long does it take to access Twitter on a Nokia?
Pretty sure it wouldn't even have Twitter. It would have like Microsoft branded TM Twitter.
Do you want to Skype your text message?
Sign in with your Microsoft account to post this thing here.
I still not okay with having to use my actual email password just to log into my Parallels version of Windows 8. That really upsets me in a weird way. It's like I'm sitting in a room with a lot of other people and they could just be looking over my shoulder and gaining access to my email address. Which I guess would be the same on like a Chromebook or something, but who the fuck uses that?
Well, that's just it. You feel that way if there are people around you. Using Windows 10, it has a keylogger built in and it sends all of your stuff that you're typing and searching to Microsoft.
That doesn't bother me. It's more the... I guess it bothers me in that when they are inevitably hacked, which they will be, it's going to happen. I'm saying it right now. Like everybody's shit's going to be exposed for everything.
Yep.
It's really terrible. It's going to be the greatest breach of human rights ever.
It is. Like, people have a problem with like the NSA tracking you. It's like, at least they do it in secret. Fucking Microsoft are just like, yeah, we're tracking all this data on you. We're posting adverts in the fucking start menu.
Oh shit, did they?
Yes.
Oh my god. There's no way of removing that?
I don't know. I don't think there is.
It's not like the people who didn't pay £10 to download it totally get adverts. That's fucking gross. It really is. I think I'm going to stick with Windows 7, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Windows 7 as well.
That's the joy of having... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I would move to Linux, but no, I'm not going to do that.
No, you don't go there. That shit's way insecure. Kaspersky won't even work on Linux. Actually, probably does. No, this is why I run a Mac, you know? Don't have this bullshit. They steal your information and they won't tell you about it. It's fine.
Yep. Well, everybody fucking steals your information. That's the thing.
I trust Apple, though. That's the difference. I trust Apple and I trust Google, and I will never trust Microsoft.
I don't trust Google, but I use their services because it's at least good.
I mean, Chrome is still way faster. I've got the latest version of IE on my 7 at the minute, and I've been using that to test some shit out, and it's rough. Yeah. Automatically, every time I click on a XML file, it automatically launches in fucking Internet Explorer. I don't know why.
Yeah. I may eventually move to 10. The website that you don't like to talk about has a technology board, and they are building a program to block and remove all of the telemetry features and shit. And
I would not install anything off 4chan. Ever.
Well, the technology board does a lot of good stuff, and they've got a lot of stuff. They've got a lot of stuff blocked. Like you have to block Cortana even. because that tracks you as well.
I want
But
Cortana though. I
yeah,
want
so do
Cortana
I.
to track
But
me and
it's
talk to me
part of
about my like fucking gel layer being ruptured and stuff.
yeah. They every time they block something, they then go and find more stuff and that you like can't block, and then they have to work around that and find a way to stop it.
Is Cortana good?
Um,
I guess
I
you haven't
don't.
used it. What have you heard? Have you heard it's good? Was it good on the
I've
phones?
I've seen somebody use it.
Did they seem satisfied by that?
I was in a Skype call with them. They just kept asking Cortana for jokes.
Because I use Siri like, let's say, half a dozen times a day, and it's great. It really improves my life. Whether I'm like trying to add a timer, add something to one of my calendars, which I frequently do, with the website stuff, or like just searching for shit on the internet. I can say search for Storm Commando Stormtrooper, and it'll just fucking bring up the Wikipedia page, and it's great. I need that sometimes throughout my day.
I'm looking here at their Windows 7 and 8 thread. There are 8 Windows 7 and 8 updates that add the telemetry features that you have to go and remove. You then have to type 2 lines into the CMD to stop it. You then have to go into the task schedule library and remove a bunch of stuff in there, and then you have to go into your services.msc folder and disable some things.
Can't you just turn on Windows 7? Can you not just turn off all updates?
You can.
I was going to say, is that not a button in the control panel? Because I think I might have done that at some point.
You can do that, yes.
Yeah, I guess you run the risk of like security concerns.
Yeah.
But that's why I run antivirus shit all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Windows, it's a terrible thing. Microsoft are terrible people, still.
It is, yeah. I'm trying to find the big image of all of the botnet and telemetry features in 10, but I can't find anywhere now.
Well, speaking of people watching you when you watch porn, did you hear about the Fallout 4 footage that leaked on Pornhub?
I saw screenshots of it, yeah. I didn't actually go and watch it, because I don't use Pornhub.
I went there to watch it, obviously, and it had fucking been taken down by the copyright holder. I was so bummed out. Fuck you, Bethesda, you can't let me have anything. So I'm going to do 2 jobs at once here. I was going to write video game news and whack off. Bastards took it down. But yeah, that was I almost added it into our This Week in Video Games feature, but I didn't because I couldn't actually find the video to watch it, so I didn't see a point of just saying, yeah, this is on a porn site. You can't watch it. Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Now, what other news do we have? Do you have any more news?
I don't know. When I Google Pornhub Fallout 4, it just comes up with a Kotaku article.
Yep, it would do. It would do.
Kotaku's
fucking great. I love Kotaku.
I don't have any more news, I don't think.
So my Pinterest, the first image is a lot of like cross sections of the USS Enterprise, followed by a lot of anime eyes from Attack on Titan. It's just like a wall of different eyes of the various characters, and then like a giant Star Trek Voyager poster. So I don't know what you're talking about with Pinterest. It's a lovely place.
I opened Pinterest and it's pictures of The Shield and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh god. It's just like the front page of our website then, isn't it? Any given week. What's on the front page of our site now? We've got that shitty King of Dragon Pass review. And then if I'm not mistaken, we should have a Yosuke with a slime bursting out of his crotch.
Yes, we do.
Yep. People should check out that This Week in
stuff.
Should check out that This Week in Video Games stuff. I have some fun with that. It started off somewhat serious, but now it's just a mess. Now it's just me making jokes about CEOs and capitalists. It's great fun. It's great. Every Sunday, check that shit out.
I recommend reading this in your finest Maximilian Pegasus voice. What?
It sounds so much better when you read it like a posh fuck. It really does. I also totally check out that Pegasus video. It was the first one I found when I typed in his name into the Googles. It's hella good. Only 30 seconds.
Is it him and Kaiba in the basement?
No, it's the song, I think, You're Absolutely Flawless. Just 30 seconds of that played over like a vignette of Pegasus adjusting his hair. It's really good. It's really good. So, video game news. Let's wrap this shit up. This isn't about video games, but it did make it onto a lot of video game sites, because all nerds are the same. Have you seen the Star Wars poster they released? Of The Force Awakened Episode 7.
No.
It's got Kylo Ren, the cool dude with with the fucking dumb lightsaber with the sticky out
Is
bits.
that is it black? Is that the black guy? I don't pay attention to Star Wars.
I think the black guy is called Finn, the guy who was sweating in a stormtrooper outfit. I still think they did him wrong in those trailers. Just like here's this black dude running out of camera every couple of shots.
I know, right? He's not dressed up in like devil paint.
It's it was fucking weird. Anyway, this poster's got like Han Solo on the left, looking old basically. Then Finn with a lightsaber, so you know what he's going to be doing by the end of that film, which seems kind of like a spoiler, but not a huge surprise.
I don't see this. I just googled Star Wars 7 poster, and there's like 20 different posters.
Star Wars Force Awakens is the name of the film.
Star Wars Force Awakens poster.
Yeah. And it's got the lady.
Yeah, maybe this is it.
Is it like orange on one side, blue on the other?
It's got like stormtroopers all surrounding the guy with the cool lightsaber.
That could be. I mean, stormtroopers are cool. But yeah, anyway, this poster has prompted a kind of horrendous amount of fan. What would you call it? Outrage.
Fan art. Oh.
I guess because yeah, like I don't know, they kind of feel like people have spoiled it a little bit with the lightsaber. There's prediction because did you remember when I talked to you about Han Solo having a wife? The latest bombshell that broke canon a couple of months ago in a Star Wars comic.
But go on.
Han Solo now has a black wife who came down. I need to read the most recent comics. Actually, I forgot all about them.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that like they're trying to get rid of all like the inherent racism. So now it's like, oh yeah, Star Wars. Han Solo's married to a black person.
I think that's good, but I think they still need to be a little bit racist though, and I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean like, if you're evil, you have to have an English accent, and if you're a good guy, you have to sound American because that's just how Star Wars has been. And I think if they lose that, then they're gonna, they'll have to make up the difference somewhere else. The rebel should sound like Star Wars is maybe the Star Wars films are maybe the one place where you can be racist and it's acceptable in that way. But yeah, they it looks really interesting. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the poster, but yeah, there's been some theory about like maybe Finn is in fact Han Solo's son because of his black wife introduced in the comics and stuff, which would be weird because that would be really destroying the lore because he already has 3 children in the extended universe.
Does
he? Yeah, and they're actually like huge pivotal parts of that. But I guess if they have just removed it entirely, then it would make some sense. But
wow.
It would be weird. I can't wait for that film. I think it's December 18th or 10th or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, but check out that poster if you can. It's interesting.
I was going to say, I was looking at your This Week in Video Games thing, and I saw the little bit on 2K16, and I have what I dreamt last night and a bit of news to add to that.
Is this the Callisto thing?
Yes. For some reason last night I had a dream where for some reason a bunch of people in WWE got fired for like steroids, and
that's
it was
not
like
a dream,
really
that's
specific
another day.
people. It was like Callisto, one of the people from Los Matadores, like Titus O'Neil. Basically, enough people got fired that the tag division got destroyed in WWE, and then they started to panic and paired up just random people to try and repair it again.
That sounds fucking great. That sounds like
it was really
happen.
weird. In my dream as well, I remember in my dream I talked to you the next day after all this happened, and you were like devastated that Callisto had been fired.
Kind of. Why didn't they go to fucking Sin Cara? Like at least Callisto has some enthusiasm for his job.
Yeah, it was a really weird dream. But some more 2K16 news. IGN put out some more roster people, including Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Neville, and Stardust.
That sounds, if you get rid of Roman Reigns and Stardust, that sounds really cool.
What do you mean? Stardust wasn't in the last game, it was still Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, I guess not.
This is going to be the first game that Stardust is in.
I love that they have the NXT people in there though.
Yeah, it's really good.
I didn't think they would be, because they've only just moved up, really, haven't they, the last few months?
Well, some of them have. Like, I think Sasha Banks confirmed that she had been scanned. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure her, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Bayley will probably be in there.
That'd be awesome.
Baron Corbin's been confirmed as well.
Of course he has.
But like when I saw Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze, I like freaked out. I was so happy.
Yeah, that is good because they haven't even. I guess Hideo Itami's had his one moment at WrestleMania, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that was such a great moment, being punched in the face by the Big Show and eliminated.
Well, at least he got that far.
Hmm.
At least it wasn't a complete disgrace, but
Yeah.
that is pretty exciting. I wonder if the game will be a bit better though.
I hope it will. I'm actually going to buy this one.
Will you review it, even if it's shit?
Yeah, of course I will.
Bear in mind that the baseline for wrestling games is like okay at best. They're not good games.
Yeah.
At least 2K14 wasn't.
Yeah, 2K14 is the best game in years, and even then that wasn't great.
Yeah, like the best thing you can say is, well, my fucking creator wrestler looks dope. You know, I like a lot of the stuff around the outside was okay, but the game's kind of like doesn't look like wrestling, does it? At any point when you're playing it.
2K14 definitely. Like I like maybe 2 weeks ago decided I was just going to set up universe mode and let the game play out for itself, and so I did a draft with all the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And sent them both to Raw and SmackDown, so it was even. And then I just let the game book itself, and I had stuff like Darren Young was my WWE champion before John Cena beat him at like Money in the Bank.
Of course, this just sounds like another week.
And now it's just every week, it's just John Cena versus Brock Lesnar on Raw.
How is wrestling nowadays? I haven't watched any in like a month.
On Monday, 4 days ago, they were in Minnesota, so it was Brock Lesnar's hometown. Paul Heyman came down and started singing to Brock Lesnar in the ring when he was down on his knees.
That's cool, I think.
It was really cool, actually. Then The Undertaker came down, he hit Brock Lesnar in the balls, tombstoned him, and then the show ended.
What?
Everyone was booing The Undertaker as well, it was great.
What are they doing with The Undertaker? What's that whole thing about? Why did they do that?
I don't know, but Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, this Sunday.
Is this a pay-per-view?
This is SummerSlam, yeah, and the Saturday before that is NXT Brooklyn.
God damn it, I have to watch like 5 hours of wrestling this week.
No, 6. SummerSlam's 4 hours.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, let's just end this fucking thing so I can go kill myself and we never have to record another bastard Dropkick podcast. Fucking... God damn it. Oh... What's your Twitter handle? What's your name? Where can people find you?
My Twitter handle is @Zealot1123. Thanks to the person who stole @Matthew Kershaw.
You're going to say that every time.
Doesn't use Twitter anymore.
You're going to be indignant.
I'm really annoyed. I can't do anything to get that account.
Or you're like, guys, it's not my fault I have a dumb Twitter handle. That sounds like a video game name.
No other versions of Matthew Kershaw are available. Not even Matt Kershaw is available.
My name is available. Well, it's not anymore, but it was available. @CarlSchimmen on Twitter. Hit me up on Pinterest. Send me some boards. I guess. Yeah, check that shit out. We've got some cool stuff. That Centrist video is cool. People should check that out. It's a really interesting game. That's maybe not really a game. But I suspect that'll be up already. And see you again in like a week's time, maybe? Probably.
Yep, we've got 2 wrestling things coming up, and then hopefully a podcast next week.
Oh!
Kyle hasn't killed himself by then, so we'll see you then.
I'm gonna shit myself.